प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So, welcome to the Bhagavad Gita Sarartha Varshini Tika by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and the sub commentary to the Sarartha Varshini, which is Rasik Ranjan by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We have we have began the 13th chapter and we had two classes and we are going slowly, systematically because this is one of the most philosophical sections in the Bhagavad Gita. So we saw Arjuna's 6 questions in the first verse and how that first verse is there. If you see from the conceptual point of view, we saw the conceptual connection between chapters 12 to 13, and in one sense, the connection from the Bhakti Yoga section, which is the middle 6 chapters, to the Jnana Yoga section, which is the last 6 chapters. So we saw these 6 questions, and then Krishna decides to first explain Kshetra and Kshetragya, and then he briefly defines what is Jnana. Then the means of attaining Jnana will be coming in the next section, that is 8 to 12. So we saw Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram Itya Abhidhiyate. This body uh, is called as the field, you know, and Etadyo Vetti Tam Prahu. One who knows, Tadvida, you know, is called as the knower of the field, Kshetragya. You know, so this is very important. Those in knowledge, please remember, not those in ignorance. So yesterday again, this clarification had come. So I'm making it very clear. Those in knowledge, it is Tadvida. So they are called as the knowers of the field. So there is a field and there is a knower of the field. So that's how Krishna defines. And then he goes on to explain, there is another Kshetragya. Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi. Mhm. I am also a Kshetragya. But Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. I know all the bodies. And one who knows the individual field and the two knowers is actually is having not he's having gyan knowledge, you know. So that's how he defines knowledge. The means of knowledge will come in the next section. So knowledge is also defined here. And what will come up in brief, Krishna speaks. Actually, what is the composition of the field? Kshetragam Yaccha it is, please remember. Yadrikcha is qualities and Yad Vikar, the transformations, where it originates from, Yatasya, and by what varieties it is known, Yat. Who is the knower? Sachaya. And what are its powers? Tat Prabhava. So all this he is going to now, in brief, speak about it. And who has anyone spoken? You are speaking in brief, where it is spoken in detail. Rishibis. There are great sages who have spoken, especially Vashishta and Vyasdev in the Brahma Sutras. It is there in the Chandogya Upanishads also, and especially in the Taittiriya Upanishads. Prabhupada goes into a lot in the Taittiriya Upanishads about the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Anandamaya, Vijnanmaya, and the Anandmaya Purusha. I'll not discuss those concepts also because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur doesn't deal with it. So when we study the Bhaktivedanta purports in detail, that time we can discuss that. And then that's where we completed the discussion, I feel. So now we come to verses 6 and 7. Verses 6 and 7. We continue from here. I hope we completed only till here yesterday. Correct? Can anyone correct me? And those who were there yesterday, you can type the message. I think we finished till fifth verse. Yes, correct. Okay, so yes. Okay, so let's begin now with the next verse. Now he is going to describe in brief Kshetragyam Cha. This is there, and Yad Vikar also it will come. Udaritam. महाभूतान्यहङ्कारो बुद्धिरव्यक्तमेव च इन्द्रियाणि दशैकं च पञ्चेन्द्रियगोचरा इच्छा द्वेषः सुखं दुःखं सङ्गातश्चेतना धृति एतत् क्षेत्रं समासेन सविकारम् उदाहृतम्. The field in brief is said to consist of Etad Kshetram Samasena Udharatam. What? The five gross elements. Mahabhutani. Ahankar. False ego. Mahatattva. Buddhi is here Mahatattva. Avyaktamevacha. Avyakta is Prakriti. And the 10 senses. That is the five karmendriyas and the five jnanendriyas. The mind. Indriyani Dashekam Cha. Dasha Ekam. Dasha is the 10 senses. Ekam is the mind. And the five sense objects. Panch Cha Indriya becomes Chendriya, Gochara. Gochara. So Gochara means, just like the cows go for, Gocharan Leela. So the Go and Chara. So Go is referring here to cows. And then the Chara is referring to eating grass. Or the sense object for the cow is, for the tongue is the grass. So similarly, our senses go to the sense objects, Indriya Charan. So that's what is being described. And then Ichha, Dvesha, Sukha and Dukkha. Ichha, Dvesh, Sukha and Dukkha. So this is a broad range. Within this, all these emotions are there. The body, Sangata, the conscious determination, Chetana and Dhriti, along with its transformation, Savikara. Now let's try to understand this systematically, because Sankhya means analysis. And there is an analysis of the 24 elements which comprises this Kshetra. In this verse, the nature of the field is described. So the nature of the field is what? What is the term used by Krishna for this nature of the field? We'll go systematically because, as I mentioned, this section is some of the most difficult sections. So what is the term used? The field, nature of the field. What is the term used? Anyone would like to answer? What is the term? Krishna said, I will in brief explain 8 things we saw. So, what is now Krishna describing? Anyone? No. I hope you're clear with my question, right? Veer Krish Prabhuji, are you there?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you repeat, Prabhu?
In this verse, the nature of field is described. So, what is being described? Krishna said in the fourth verse. that in brief I will be describing eight eight things he spoke. So what is being described in this verse?
It is describing constitution of this material nature, basically the field
Yeah,
constitution.
correct. What is the term used by Krishna? That's my this.
Abhyaktam uchyate, abhyaktam.
No, 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 no. Okay, okay, let's go back. It's a Yat Kshetram Yatcha Yadrikcha Yad Vikara Yatascha Yat Sacha Yo Yat Prabhavasya Tat Samasena Meshunu. So Krishna said that in brief I'll describe what is the composition of this Kshetra. Kshetram Yagcha. What are its quality? Yadrik. What are its transformation? Yad Vikara. From where it originates? Yatascha. By what varieties it is known? Yat. Who is the knower? Sacha Ya. And what are its powers? So, in this verse, what is Krishna describing? Let's give Vinita Mataji. There is some distraction also at your end. Vinita Mataji, yes, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी क्षेत्रम यच्च
Excellent. Any other things are described?
the qualities the yadriksha
Yan.
and the transformations as yad
Yes,
vikari.
right. Yes, Yad Vikara. Excellent,
Okay.
excellent. So, yeah. So here, the vikas, the transformations in the kshetra are there. So there is the Yacha, Yat Kshetram, Etat Kshetram Samasena. This is Kshetra, you know, and the Vikars in the Kshetra. So in this verse, the nature of the field is described. That is Tat, means that Kshetram I'll describe. So actually it is what? Kshetram Yacha. Mark this. This is what Krishna is going to describe now here. Okay. And then he starts. Mahabhutani refers to earth, ether, air, fire, water, and earth. So this is five, the five gross elements. Ahankar refers to false ego, the cause of Mahabhutas. So there is the Ahankar, which is the false ego, and Ahankar in the mode of ignorance, by which these elements are manifested. We all know that. Buddhi refers to Mahatattva composed of Vigyan, the cause of Ahankar. So Buddhi is here Mahatattva. The Mahatattva adds one more element now. Avyakt refers to Prakriti, the cause of Mahatattva. Because, before the Lord glances, it is Prakriti. And when sometimes it is called as Pradhan also, it is Avyakta. It becomes Vyakta and when the Lord glances. So then Mahatattva is the first element. It is actually it is composed of Vigyan, it says, because it is Chitta. In one sense, this is a Chitta. The Chitta is where Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. So it is composed of Vigyan, it is mentioned. And then Avyakta is Prakriti, the cause of Mahatattva. So this is 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then Indriyani refers to the 10 senses: eyes, ears, nose, skin, touch, hands, feet, genital, anus, and voice. So there are the 5 Gyanindriyas and 5 Karmendriyas. So this makes 10. And then Eka refers to the mind. So Dash Ekam Cha. So now if you calculate, so this is 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 10 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. Okay. Now the 5 Indriya Gochara are the sense objects: sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. So from 19 plus 5 is 24 elements. This is the composition of the field. The field is composed of this. And this technically in Sanskrit it is called as Kshetra. Kshetragam Yacha. Of course, it is Kshetram only. The field is made of these 24 elements. So the field is made of these 24 elements. Note, Yacha of verse 3, what is the field composed of, has been described here. Yacha of verse 3, it is a. One second. No. Yacha is coming in. Yacha is in verse 4. So somehow there has some mistake, I think. It is definitely 4. Okay. So Yacha has been described. Sangata is the body evolving from the 24 elements. Sangata means all these combined together is how the body is evolved. The car means headlight, ear, means sound, horn, all these things. Computer means there has to be a keyboard, there has to be a monitor, there has to be a, all these components, the CPU, processor, everything. So similarly, the body means, it is composed of all these 24 elements. Ichha, Dvesha, Sukha and Dukha are well known. Chetana is the mental functions constituted of knowledge. So Chetana, uh, we'll try to understand. Let us finish this. Dhriti is perseverance. Chetana and Dhriti. So what is the difference between Chit and Chitta? Chitta is the original consciousness of the soul, part of the Sachidananda. And Chitta is the consciousness rooted in the material world. So here, I'm just drawing this picture. Please try to understand this. Maybe I'll take a different color. So this is the soul. And then there is a subtle body, mind, intelligence, and false ego. This is the subtle body. And then, I don't know whether there are color pens. There are only few colors, huh? Yeah. And this is the gross body. So Chitta, when we refer to Chitta, CIT, it is CIT, the Chit, the pure consciousness of the soul. But this pure consciousness, when it passes through the subtle body, because the subtle body has unlimited vasanas or samskars, there is a coloring because of the modes and the influence. So that is called as the CITT, the contaminated consciousness. But Chitta also is an element you can see here. It is composed of Vigyan, the cause of Ahankar, Mahatattva sometimes. And this Mahatattva, at the universal level, it is the Mahatattva, but at the individual level, it is the Chitta, you know. And in this state, Chitta, the presiding deity is Vasudev. Shuddha Sattva, we realize Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sattva Shabditam. We will not go into the details of all this because again it is a matter of going in detail. This is in summary. In detail, there is a Kapila Sankhya. Entire 2 chapters are devoted to this. 2 chapters where all this is very elaborately discussed. And there are other works also like Parashar and the Vedanta Sutra, all that discusses. But for now, this much we have to understand now. Okay, then Icha and other qualities mentioned in this verse are qualities of the mind, not the soul. Please remember this now. Icha and Dvesha. These are two extreme polarities and thus included in the field. So, Kshetra Kshetra is actually in one sense the subtle body and the gross body. And the gross body. So in the subtle body, there are desires, the mind, Ichha and Dvesha. So these are the qualities. What are the qualities also which, was also one thing which Krishna would mean. This does not mean, however, that soul does not have qualities such as perseverance. So there is the mental determination, we can see perseverance. I'm just saying as determination here to persevere, you can see in the material world also, they are, they persevere to attain what they desire. There is also the spiritual determination springing from the soul in spiritual life. So somebody who is materially perseverant might not be spiritually perseverant. So because this determination is coming from a different platform altogether, it's coming from a spiritual platform. So that's why there is difference. That's why Ichha and Dvesh are included in the field. These are representatives of Sankalpa and other qualities mentioned in the Shruti, not being an exhaustive list of the qualities of the mind. So Krishna doesn't give an exhaustive list, but he just mentions Ichha and Dvesh, that's it. So the exhaustive list here is there. Kama Sankalpo Vichikshita Shraddha Dhritir Hrir Dhir Bhir Iti Etad Sarvam Mana Eva. Desire, determination, Kama Sankalpa, uncertainty, faith, lack of faith, vichikshita, shraddha, perseverance, lack of perseverance, dhriti, humility, intelligence and fear, veer, dheer and bhir, reer are all products of the mind. Iti etad mana sarvam eva. By this list, the qualities of the field, which was previously promised in the word yadrik in verse 3, again has been shown. I don't know why this verse 3 it is mentioned here. Again, verse 3, no, it is verse 4. Okay, I'll just confirm also with this field, which has 6 transformations, savikara, such as birth, death, and growth, has thus been briefly described. Udharitam. Briefly described, Udharitam. So the transformations, vikar, which happens in the field. So the field, is in boyhood, then youth, then old age, all these transformations it undergoes. So the field is constantly transforming and it goes through these 6 stages. So, the soul doesn't go through these vikars. Avyakto achintoyam avikaroyam cha uchyate, Bhagavad Gita 2.25. But the field undergoes transformations. So in one sense, the qualities, yadrik and vikar, the vikar also in the field and the field have been described here in this verse. Okay, let me see. Yes, Yad Kshetram, Yadrik and Yad Vikar. Where it originates, Krishna will speak in the further verses. Where it originates will be spoken. It originates from the 24 elements, but 21 and 22 will prescribe, what the body undergoes changes also is mentioned here, text 7, but again text 20 will also describe this. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and here ends the first section. Now Kshetra and Kshetragya have been answered, third and question. Now Gyan was answered if you see, but the means of attaining Gyan is what is being mentioned here, okay, in this section. So any questions you have up till now? Any questions, any clarifications? Anyone has any clarifications up till now? Tukaram Prabhuji, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes.
Apart from those 24 elements,
Hmm.
there are more
element kind of things which you described later on, because I could not, catch them. Uh, you came towards chitta and this one. I mean, on the later part of the explanation, or only 24 are.
No, there are only 24 elements which is composing this entire material world is composed of 24 elements. The bodies of us are also composed of 24 elements.
Right.
Now, there is the element of the soul, which is called as 25th, then there is a 26th, which is a super soul. But yeah, like that, there is a time also, which is the 27th. But inert matter, you know, is said to be of these 24 elements, the Mahabhutani Ahankara Buddhira Vyaktamev cha Indriyani Dashekam cha Panchendriya Gochara. So this also you need to connect to 7.4. In 7.4 also, Krishna spoke of the Bhairanga Shakti. Bhumirapo Analo Vayu Kham Manor Buddhareva cha Ahankaritiyam me Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. So there also when we discussed, there are 8 divisions. So this 8 divisions, when you expand them, there also we come to exactly 24 elements. So that's how we have to understand it. Okay?
Right, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah. Bir Kushbuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dhanavad Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, these qualities of mind like Ichha, Dvesh, Sukham, Dukham,
Mhm.
Priti, Prabhu, these qualities, I mean, when we have spiritual desires and those all things, so how, I mean, this qualities of mind, this gets transformed or it is on different level altogether? How it is?
No, it is whatever it is coming from the mental platform. It is not coming from the spiritual platform, that is soul platform. So just
Prabhu,
like
but
just to give you an example, like somebody who's in sattva, he'll be naturally compassionate. He'll be, he'll be having these qualities. So these qualities of compassion, kindness, forgiving nature, these are qualities coming from the mode of goodness.
goodness.
But ultimately, when one takes to pure devotion and one develops these transcendental qualities, then these qualities are coming out of bhakti, which is the Sarup Shakti of the Lord. So even the bhakta will have compassion, but there is a difference between the two compassions. One is the quality which is coming from sattva, one is the quality which is coming from Vishuddha sattva, which is coming from the spiritual platform. That's how we have to understand it.
So it has no connection with mind then when this develops from devotion service.
From pure devotional service.
Pure devotion, yes.
Yes.
Right, right. Thank you.
Yes. Vinita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji just helped me to understand the 24th element. Like 5 are earth, water, 5 are senses, eyes, ears.
So these are the Mahabhutani Ahankara, Panch
Yes,
Mahabhuta,
5.
Ahankar.
Mm,
Then there is the Buddhi, which is Mahatattva.
okay.
And then there is Prakriti. Then there is the 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Gyanendriyas. And then there is mind, Eka, mind. And then there is the 5 sense objects. 19 plus 5 is 24.
Okay, the 24th is Prakriti for me.
Prakriti is
Okay.
already here.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. I had not written that. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so now let's go to this next section. Yeah, the 6 transformations are birth, growth, maintenance, maturity, decline, and death. We have seen this in 2.20 verse also. So let's go to the section of the process of knowledge and liberation. Actually, the process of knowledge is given here. And this will lead to liberation that further Krishna will bring up in the last section. Okay. So in one sense, it's the process of knowledge only. Jnana. So this is the famous verses. This entire verses we'll study and end our discussion today. Amanitvam madambitvam ahimsa shantirarjavam acharyopasanam saucham stairyam atma vinigraha indriyateshu vairagyam anankare vacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosha nudarshanam asakter anabhiswanga putradhara grahadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणि विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् हरतिर्जनसंसिदि अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानम् इति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यद् अतोऽन्यथा. Freedom from pride, amanitvam, lack of ostentation, adhambitvam, means freedom from pride, adham, dham, non-violence, ahimsa, forbearance, shanti, sincerity or simplicity, arjavam, worship of the teacher, acharya, upasanam, purity, saucham, steadiness, thairyam, control of the mind, atma vinigra, detachment from enjoyment of the sense objects, indriyarteshu vairagya, lack of identification with the body, anankara evacha, understanding, anudarshanam, that all states of existence such as birth, death, old age and disease, Jan Mrityu Jaravadi give rise to suffering. Dukkha dosha, freedom from the attachment to others, asakti, lack of identification with the condition of sons and others. Anabhiswanga putra dhara grahadishu. Equanimity of mind, nityam cha samachittatvam, in the face of desirable and undesirable events. Ishta anishta upapattishu. Devotion to with undeviating attention. Now please mark this, and sometimes it is very confusing. Of course, okay, let's mark, amanitvam is 1, adhamvitvam is 2, and ahimsa 3, shanti is 4, arjavam, acharya upasanam 5, this is 6, saucham, stairyam, atma vinigra, this is control of the mind, 8, then indriyarteshu vairagya, that is 9, then 10 is anankara evacha, and anudarshanam of what? Janmrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha dosha. All this is 11. Freedom from attachment to others, like lack of identification. Let's see whether it is 12. This is 13. Nityam cha samachitvam, in the face of. Then devotion unto me is 14. Resorting to solitary places, Vivikta Desha Seviktvam, 15. With distaste for crowds, Arati Jana Samsam. Constant engagement in the self, 16. And then always keeping the mind on the goal of realization, Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam, 17. All are these to be declared as knowledge. Etat Jnanam iti proktam, otherwise everything is ignorance. So now there are 20 items of knowledge. How I had made the list. Nityam cha samachittat ishtanishtopapatishu also comes, I think, one more. 18. 18 items of knowledge, I think, or 20 items of knowledge. Let me see. Prabhupada speaks about it. I had marked in my previous Bhagavad Gita book, but that is somehow missing. In the Ish Upanishads, when the cultivation of Vidyana, Prabhupada speaks about this. Let me see. Ish Upanishads. Thirteen chapters. So Prabhupada puts 18, correct. So 18 items of knowledge. So this is correct. Okay. Now please hear very attentively and try to understand. the two knowers of the field. The two knowers are Kshetragya, one is the Jiva and Paramatma, which are to be known. So these two knowers, Kshetragya, are to be known by distinguishing them from the field. The Kshetragya knower should know the Kshetra. So just sort, it's just put in a very philosophical way, so that's why you have to understand. Just mentioned will be described in detail. So it's be described. So when one knows the self, then also one knows the super self. Okay. So then he is in knowledge. The 20 factors to be used for gaining that knowledge are first mentioned in 5 verses. So there are 20 factors, what Vishnu Thakur says. Of course, you can add, I think, something, dukkha doshanu darshanam or asakti and anabhisvanga, putragadarash asakti, I don't know how exactly that numbering. Yes, Vinita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the purport speaks there are 20 in the explanation.
That's what I've had marked it in my Bhagavad Gita. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So
Okay.
there is, that's what I said. I remember it is 20. Of these, 18 are common to both the devotees and gyanis. So there are 20. There are 20, and we'll have to mark them, which all exactly we need to. Asakti is separate, I think. Uh, um, Ana Abhisanga, Putra, that maybe if you include like that, it will become 20. However, the devotees zealously engage in one element mentioned in the 11th verse. Mai cha ananya yogena bhakti avyabhicharini. Now, please try to understand this very carefully. Mai cha ananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini is part of one of the items practiced by Gyanis. Please remember, this is not Ananya Bhakti. There is difference between Ananya Bhakti and Ananya Yogena Bhakti Avyabhicharini. Had Krishna said Ananya Bhakti Yogena Avyabhicharini, then it would have referred to Ananya Bhakti. But Krishna in this verse is saying, Mai cha is there, Ananya Yogena Bhaktir Avyabhicharini. So this refers to actually the mixed devotion. So Vishwanath Thakur will make that clear. So there is difference between Avyabhicharini Bhakti and Ahetuki Bhakti. Avyabhicharini means the Gyanis also practice this one element of Bhakti along with all the other elements. They cultivate all these other items. Amanitvam, Adamvitvam, all that. But they practice without any interruption. And they have the goal of liberation. Whereas Ahetuki Bhakti, there is no hetu of the desire for liberation, which is also called as Ananya Bhakti. So that's the point we have to understand. The other 17 items manifest automatically for those who engage in that one item. So those who practice Shuddha Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti, all the other 17 items. Oh, these are 20 factors, and then there are 18 items. So the items are 18 only then. Let me also get a clear, more understanding what the difference between the two is. Even I am not so clear about it as of now. So let me also find out with my other senior teachers. So it is 18 items, 18 items only. That's what I was seeing here. It is 18 only. But there are 20 factors for gaining knowledge. Let us see what these are 20 factors. Okay. So other 17 items manifest automatically for those who engage in that one item, that is Ananya Bhakti. Okay. Now, The bhaktas do not devote effort to those 17 items individually. That means individually they don't cultivate humility. Individually they don't cultivate, adhambitvam, ahimsa, all that, they don't practice. In Gyan also, in Ashtanga also, ahimsa is one of the limbs. This is the tradition. The last two items are especially for Gyanis. So, Adhyatma Nityatvam, Tattva Gyanartha Darshanam, Tattva Gyan, Tattva Pradharth, Tat Padarth, Tvam Padarth, all that. These last two are for the Gyanis. The meaning of the items such as Amanitva is clear, therefore no comments are given. Saucha refers to both internal and external. Now, each of these, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is briefly describing. Prabhupada has devoted practically for all these one paragraph. Please read them very carefully. So, Saucham cha dvidam proktam bhayam abhyantaram tata brij jalabhyam spritam bhayam bhava shuddhis tatantaram. There are two types of cleanliness described, internal and external. External cleanliness is by water and earth. Internal cleanliness is the purity of mind. Anudarshanam means to observe constantly the detrimental effect of sorrow caused by birth, death, old age, and disease. Asakti means to give up affection for sons and others. Biswanga means lack of identification with happiness and distress of sons and others. So that's how, I think Asakti is different and Anaswinga is different. Samachittatvam means to remain calm in the face of receiving either favorable or unfavorable treatment or events. Favorable or unfavorable treatment or events. Samachitvam. One should have bhakti unmixed with karma, jnana, tapa or yoga. Mai ananya yogena bhakti avyabhijani unto me, Sham Sundar. Now please hear and try to understand this. The word cha here indicates that bhakti may also perform with a slight mixture of gyan or other elements. Jnana mishra bhakti. So this is jnana mishra bhakti. So the word cha indicates mai cha ananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini. So the cha indicates that the bhakti which is performed with, mixture of gyan or other elements, The first, the unmixed type, will be executed by devotees. So the unmixed type is the Ananya Bhaktas, pure devotion, Ananya Bhakti. The second type will be executed by Jnanis. The second type will be executed by Jnanis. Some devotees say, however, that this statement being in the last 6 chapters is for showing that just as Ananya Bhakti produces prema, it is also necessary to practice for realization of Paramatma. And if the center refers only to Jnanis, then the phrase Ananya Yogena means thinking of everything as Atma. So this is the Jnani vision. Vidya Vinay Sampanya, Brahmani Kavi Hastini, Suni Cheva Sapakecha, Pandita Samadarshana. Mai Cha Ananya Yogena means to always be thinking everything as Atma. Avyabhicharini means that one should do it daily or without any break. So that is Avyabhicharini here. So there is difference between Avyabhicharini Bhakti and Ahetuki. Madhusudan Saraswati said the word Avyabhicharini refers to Bhakti which cannot be stopped by any means at all. So they, with like Dhruva Maharaj, with one pointed, with full determination, he was practicing Avyabhicharini Bhakti. But there was a hetu. It was not Anya Bilashita Shunyam. He wanted a kingdom greater than his great grandfather, Lord Brahma. So there is difference, that's why, between Mishra Bhakti and Shuddha Bhakti. Adhyatma Gyan means the knowledge related to Atma. Adya Atma. One should engage oneself in that knowledge constantly. Adhyatma Nityatvam. This means that one should be fixed in the purity of the self. Adhyatma Jnana Nityatman. One should always keep in mind one's goal of moksha in one's cultivation of knowledge of Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam. So the goal is moksha. So these altogether, okay. These 20 elements are common means for attaining knowledge of Jiva and Paramatma. So again, Vishwanath Chakravarti is mentioning 20 factors and here 20 elements. It is 20 only, I feel. Why he has mentioned 20 factors and then 18 items? 18 items. Oh, okay, I got it. So why these 18 are mentioned is the 18 are the qualities. The 18 are the qualities uh, which both the devotees and the jnanis practice. And then the 19 and 20 are exclusively for jnanis. The devotees don't practice uh, the desire for moksha and all, or adhyatma jnana nityatvam. So like that it is, correct. Okay. So the first unmixed type will be executed. We have gone through this. The 20 elements are common means for attaining knowledge for Jiva and Paramatma. Jnanam here refers to the means of knowledge rather than the knowledge itself. So it is the means of knowledge. So Jnanam means it is a means of knowledge. The additional methods necessary for realization Paramatma will be explained later. So there are additional methods by which one can realize Paramatma, which will be explained in the 18th chapter. Doing the opposite of this, such as exhibiting pride instead of lack of pride, is called Agyana, ignorance. Okay. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, let us see. Humility, lack of pride, adambitvam, ahimsa, shantir, arjavam, and acharya upasana, saucham, stairyam, atma vinigraha. And then, yeah, indriya arteshu vairagya, 10. Anankara evacha, 11. Maybe here is where we had missed out that. Detachment from the sense objects, indriyatur, lack of identification of the body. This we had taken 10. Then let us see here what is, this is also, no, lack of false ego is coming as 11. Okay. Amanitvam is 1. Lack of pride, adhambitvam, ahimsa, shantir, arjavam, acharya upasanam, saucham, stairyam, atma vinigra, and detachment of sense of indriyarteshu vairagya, anankara evacha. That is 11. Then where the numbering went wrong here? Amanitvam, adhamvitvam, ahimsa, shantir. Shantir, arjavam, acharya upasanam, saucham, stairyam, atma vinigraha. Oh. That is why this is 9. And then indriyarteshu vairagya and anankara evacha, 11. Okay, let's go ahead. Realization of the miseries of birth, death, old age, disease, and this is 12. Janm, Mrityu, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Dosha. Then Asaktir is 13. Putra, Dhara, etc. And indifference to their happiness and distress is 1. 14. Even mind is Samachittatvam under all circumstances. Avyabhicharni Bhakti. This is 15. Then Vivikta, Desha Seviktvan. Here is 117. Firm belief in the knowledge of the eternal and the perception that moksha is the real purpose of Tattva Gyan. All are considered to be ignorant. Are the 24 transformations in the Kshetra. So this is 17. Firm belief. 18. And then this is 19 and this is 20. In reality, they comprise knowledge which destroy the transformations of the Siddh. So all these constitute Gyan which destroy the transformations of the Shitra. One attains the supremely pure absolute truth by taking shelter of them. They are not the transformations of the field of the body, rather they are the remedies that destroy those transformations. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is making clear, these are the remedies for destroying. Now, Prabhupada gives the example, just like, the soul is encased in 24 elements. And this knowledge items, jnana, will liberate the soul from the 24 elements. So it will destroy these transformations. That's the point being made. Of these 20, a person should adopt exclusive and undeviating devotion unto me. Ananya avyabicharini bhakti. The other 19 characteristics are secondary fruits of bhakti. So again, those who practice Shuddha Bhakti, please remember that. They purify the impure Kshetra body of the Jiva and ultimately help him to attain his eternal perfect Kshetra. That is the spiritual body. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur from the Bhakti context directly is mentioning. These 19 characteristics which are like the throne of Bhakti Devi, the goddess of devotion, should be understood as true knowledge. Everything else is ajnana, ignorance. So another few points I just want to make before we end this discussion is please try to understand this. So the Gyanis practice this 20 items of knowledge. All they have to, practice. Beginning from first thing is humility. Because when one becomes detached and takes sannyas, there is, these materialists are, into sense gratification and there is pride. So these two things are being told, they should not have that. So this bhakti is called as Bhakti Mishra Gyan. Please remember this, Bhakti Mishra Gyan, which is discussed in the 13 to 18 chapters. Now, there is the mixed devotion. The mixed devotion, which is, type 2, which was mentioned here, where these qualities also are cultivated along with bhakti. Because the bhakti is not at pure, it is Mishra Bhakti only. Bhakti is Pradhan Vat. Bhakti is Pradhan here. Okay. So this is. And then when one practices Ananya Bhakti, one only practices Ananya Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti, by which all the qualities, by Sharanagati, by Shuddha Bhakti, all the qualities will manifest. There is no endeavor required to, develop these qualities. Ultimately, they all manifest. Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavatir Akinchana Sarve Gunas Tatra Samasate Surava. But here, please remember, Yasya Asti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana, one who has Akinchana Bhakti. So now, I have a question before you ask me questions. It's very interesting. You have to understand this also very carefully, that in one sense, one who has come to the platform of practice of Shuddha Bhakti at the stage of even sadhana. Sadhana Bhakti is also, please remember, Shuddha Bhakti, and it is Ahetuki and Avavahita or Apratiyata. Srimad Bhagavatam 126, or Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 111. Then he practices sadhana bhakti only. He cultivates the limbs of devotion. Then all these qualities will manifest. But when one is not on this platform, one should develop these qualities as well as practice bhakti and That will help him to advance. But when he comes to the practice of Ananya Bhakti, now these qualities, what he might manifest, these qualities are not the qualities of the soul. These are qualities of the nature of Sattva, which is conducive ultimately to come to practice of Shuddha Bhakti. But these qualities with the practice of Shuddha Bhakti, as Kleshagni happens and Shubhada happens, these are transcendental qualities. I hope you are able to understand the difference. These are transcendental qualities. So any questions you have up till now, what we have discussed? Bir Krishna Prabhuji, yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I have two questions, bro.
One by
First
one.
is, first is out of this 20, bro, in case of Gyani who is practicing this Mr. Bhakti also. So, bro,
Pardon? Gyani who is practicing?
I mean, Bhakti Mr. Gyan, this
Mm-hmm.
20 items, no, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So, from where does he get this impetus to practice Bhakti, bro? Because for that, he will be requiring some sort of sadhu sangha. I mean, some sort of.
No. See, bhakti is only attained by the association of a pure devotee.
Hmm.
That faith, that he doesn't have that Sukriti only. So in that Jnani Sadhu Sangh also, they also have the chanting of the holy names or chanting of the mantras where they are taking the names of the Lord. So in one sense, you might see, oh, they are also practicing bhakti. No, they are practicing Gyan, but bhakti is also one element. Out of all the 20 elements in their Gyan sadhana, there is also one bhakti element, and bhakti is taking not the mukhya, it is taking as the gauna role. And that's why bhakti, doesn't give the results of, what it should give, because it takes a secondary role, and that's why it helps him to attain, give the fruits of Gyan in the form of liberation. It is bhakti only which gives the fruits of the Gyani in the form of liberation. So bhakti takes a secondary role there, Gauna.
Yes, bro. It takes secondary role, but then why it is mentioned here? This one as Ananya Yogin. Prabhupada here
So
clearly mentioned that Ananya Yogin is.
that is why I was trying to explain there is difference between Mai cha Ananya Yogena Bhakti Avyabhicharini, and if there was Mahi cha Ananya Bhakti Yogena, then there's other items we need not mention only, because Krishna in the 12.6 and 7, what he says?
Understood.
ये तु
Understood.
सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य पत्परन अनन्येव योगेन माम ध्यायन्तो तेषामहम.
Hmm.
So there it is directly explaining Ananya Bhakti. But here this is not Ananya Bhakti. There is, you know, Avyabhicharini Bhakti which is practiced. There are these all other items are cultivated, and also one element of Bhakti. And today also you go to some yoga institutes, they are mostly practicing all these yoga, and they're discussing philosophy, Upanishads. But they also, because there is no rasa, they come to sit and chant and dance in the kirtan. They do the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but they don't consider that as a prime, means for attaining the Lord. So their conceptions are different. So that's why they practice that as a secondary form. So that's why bhakti takes a secondary role there.
Right.
Is it clear or no?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Vinita Mataji had raised her hand. Yeah. You have a question, Mataji? No. Okay. Navneet Kalra Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Navneeta Mataji.
Uh,
Yes.
can I ask?
Yes, yes, please.
Yes, Prabhuji, in text 6 and 7, the quality of mind has been explained, and in 8 to 12, these are the qualities of the soul.
8
There's
to
a
12
difference.
qualities of soul are not mentioned. 8 to 12 is what is the means of attaining that gyan. They have to
So,
cultivate these.
so these qualities are qualities of what then?
No, please understand, we have to cultivate gyan. What is the means? What is the means to cultivate that gyan? One has to, there is the kshetra with having these qualities, ichcha and dvesha. Now, ultimately, one is entangled or one is encased within these 24 elements, you know, which is Mahabhutani Ahankara Buddhir Avyakta Mevacha Indriyani Dashekam Cha Panchendriya Gochara. And there is Ichcha and Dvesha, which are these qualities, which is the transformations which happen because the transformations are again the transformations in the, of course, I'll give you an example. Okay. Now you have a desire to play, this virtual reality games. Now, when you go in the virtual reality, there is like a closed studio and you have the handle and there is a screen, you're sitting, and it actually makes you feel that you are driving a Formula One car and you're inside the car and there is a car race going on and you see others are also moving and all this is happening and suddenly, your car meets with an accident, and the tire gets burst, but you feel, hey, oh, now I met with an accident. But actually, nothing is happening in reality. All the transformations, what you see, are happening in the kshetra. You know, the vikars, the emotions, what are going through. Oh, he's clean bowled, in the cricket match, all these, emotions which we feel, they are all these. And ultimately, you know, to to distinguish between the Kshetra and the Kshetragya, that is the Jiva and the Paramatma, by cultivating these items of knowledge, we can disentangle ourselves from the Kshetra and the transformations of the Kshetra and as well as the qualities which, the different qualities which, the different emotions, they are basically the emotions. So once we know,
But these,
then we don't get affected by all
but
this.
uh, these transformations are happening at the mind level, in the
Yes, they
subtle
are they are
body.
happening, at the level of the mind and they happen at the level of the body. Like simple example to give you, what happens during Amavasya Purnima because of the full moon, the ocean tide rises up, right? So the water element, there is transformation. So even the body which is made of, 71% water element, there are, there is transformation happening and the mind is also getting affected. Yes or no?
Yes.
So these are if one is liberated, although the transformation is happening, he doesn't identify with them and it neither gets affected by it. So
So these,
why we get affected because we don't distinguish between the Kshetra and the Kshetragya. So these items of knowledge, are the means by which we can become disentangled. Got the point or no?
oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Shri Lalita Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I just wanted to check that this amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, all these 18 qualities, this jnani is actually he develops it because of the knowledge, and then he gets into bhakti. Prabhu, is
No,
it like
how
that?
did he get into
Or,
bhakti?
or then
Because
why? What?
sometimes our devotees,
Huh.
everything they see as bhakti only. Because they are bhaktas, they cannot understand these other practices taken by the other paths. And that's why
Okay.
we cannot, everyone is practicing devotion, we feel, but there are different types of devotion. Not all devotion are on the same platform. That's why, please understand, this is exclusively speaking of a jnani who is practicing jnana sadhana.
Okay.
What are the
Yes.
items which these are 20, please understand. In that 20, the 18 are
Correct. Got it.
cultivated by both jnanis and devotees. And here, when I mention devotees, I speak about mixed devotees.
Okay.
But in pure
Yeah.
devotion, when one takes up to pure devotion, he need not cultivate any of these also,
Yeah,
other
he comes
70.
product. Yeah.
Just by Shuddha
Mm.
Bhakti, like,
Yeah.
take the example of Mrigari,
Yeah.
he did not
Yes.
separately endeavor for ahimsa.
Yes.
But when his heart got purified and pure devotion awakened in his heart, he was not ready
Yeah.
to even bow down because the ants, he might, cause harm to them. So he moved the ants.
Yes, Prabhu.
So that is a very elevated platform.
Okay.
So the point what I was trying to make, that if one is practicing Shuddha Bhakti, all these qualities automatically manifest. There is no separate endeavor required.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the criteria for practicing Shuddha Bhakti is very, very exalted.
Yeah.
So when we are still not on the level of practice of Shuddha Bhakti, then you know cultivating these qualities, because it helps us to be in sattva.
Mm.
So all this is discussed in the Bhagavatam in the seventh canto, verse chapters 11 to 15, and in the Uddhav Gita. So otherwise, if one is practicing Shuddha Bhakti, then he's continuously engaged in only doing Navida Bhakti
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not doing any actions based on the Swabhava.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhu.
It's basically 9.13 and 14. He's under the Antaranga Shakti.
Okay.
And Satatam Kirtayantum. He's Satatam Kirtayan. Nitya
Very
Yukta.
consistently.
Nitya
Yeah.
Upasati, like that.
Yeah.
So as long as the influence of the modes are there, then the bhakti is always mixed. So that's why it is good for us to cultivate these qualities. At the same time, come to sattva so that we get adhikar to practice Shuddha Bhakti. That's the point.
Okay. And Avyabhicharini means that it is only non-stop. It doesn't mean that it's unalloyed. In one of the slides,
Ah,
I saw that it's
see,
unalloyed.
huh.
One of the slides, you put a bracket and you written
No,
unalloyed.
please, where does it say it is unalloyed?
In the slide I saw, Prabhu, the second last or third last slide, it says that Avyabhicharena and unalloyed somewhere.
Okay, see how proper translate. Let me see also where that unalloyed you had this. Uh, okay. Prabhupada is very clear in the translation, word to word meaning, but in the commentary, he gives from the perspective of Shuddha Bhakti.
Okay.
Please understand this. So that's why sometimes, we cannot distinguish. You see how Prabhupada translates a Vyabicharini. How does he translate?
Without any break. But in
Uh,
SVCT commentary, it was written bracket unalloyed like that.
one second.
Last few. No, after this also. After this also.
Nowhere you have come. Where you did
No,
come?
Prabhu, I am sure I saw it, Prabhu. I will.
So I deleted it now.
No, no, no. 1 minute, Prabhu. Let me wait.
Okay. Please
Uh,
see carefully.
Krishna. Next slide, Prabhu. Okay, next slide, Prabhu.
We are done.
Okay. Okay, before previous. Oh, yeah, 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 here. 15th one. Avyabhicharini Bhakti. Unalloyed and unwavering Bhakti.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur, again, he is explaining directly from the Bhakti context.
Okay.
Unalloyed and unwavering Bhakti unto me. You know. Ah,
Okay, Prabhu.
so that is okay. Let me see what is the word to word meaning here in the Thakur's commentary. Let me see, because sometimes this see what word undeviating it is. It's the same.
Okay.
So it is undeviating. So that's why we have to see the word-to-word meaning. There is a difference between avvyabicharini bhakti and ahetuki bhakti, which I brought out.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Avvyabicharini bhakti. So again, it will come up. This two times this term has been used, avvyabicharini bhakti. Where it has been again used, avvyabicharini bhakti? Anyone knows?
Prabhu,
Huh?
you gave example of Dhruva Maharaj, right, Prabhu?
No. This term in the Bhagavad Gita will come again, avvyabicharini.
Oh.
Very famous, 14.26. Mam cha yo avvyabicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samitetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Now please carefully see. Unto me, mam, cha, yah, person, avvyabicharene, seer,
Yeah.
without fail, without break, bhakti
Okay.
yogena, by devotional service. So this is bhakti, but there is avvyabicharene bhakti, and it
Yes.
is unto Krishna only, sevate.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
transcends the three modes and
Yeah.
then attains what? Brahman. So the devotees, if they are practicing Ananya Bhakti, they will attain Brahman or they'll attain whom?
Go back to Godhead.
Krishna. They'll attain Krishna,
Mm.
na?
Yeah. Krishna.
So they practice this avyabicharini bhakti yogena. That means, there's, to transcend the modes so that ultimately that bhakti which is there in the Gyan sadhana will give them the fruit of liberation.
Okay.
And they will attain Brahman.
Yes. Yes.
So
This
that's
also I
why there
had
is
a
difference
question. Where
between
will they reach? Yeah.
avyabicharini and ahetuki bhakti. I brought that out.
Okay, Prabhu. Understood.
Clear?
Yes. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So thank you very, very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.